Welcome. You're just seconds away from the Brian Brawdy Show, where listener participation is strongly encouraged. Well, unless, of course, you're easily triggered, then listener discretion is strongly advised. And if you fall into the latter camp, why don't you just mortal up already?
You're listening to the Brian Brawdy Show here on RadioBri.com. Unfettered, unfiltered, unafraid.
Good afternoon and welcome to episode 537 of the Brian Brawdy Show here on Radio Bri, and of course on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else we're going out. It is a pleasure to have you. However, we're hooking up today. Today's episode is called Facing Fear, and I should mention once again, let me give him a quick drum roll. Wayne, thank you so much for the excellent thumbnail for today, the Facing Fear, because I'm told that the number one fear is the fear of falling, the fear of loud, sudden noises, and the top three of all fears are fears of spiders. And I shot this picture in the Everglades in Florida. So when I saw that picture, it brought back great memories of being chased by alligators and mosquitoes and spiders and everything else. But yeah, facing fear, that's the topic of today's episode. Thank you for everyone joining us. We super appreciate it. And we didn't realize until right before we went on air, we're competing with Clueless Joe. He's doing a press conference on everything going on, at least as best as he can tell. If we have a chance, we'll cut into that a little bit later, but we got all kinds of things going on today, so we want to jump right to it. Wayne, I know you have a little bit of an announcement. Give me an idea of how you're shaking things up a bit.
Well, one of the things we're going to do, because we get a lot of voice messages.
Oh, great.
We are going to open the phone lines right from the beginning of the show.
Very nice. I like that. So you're going to go ahead and clue in everyone on how to do that, or do I do that? What's going on?
Am.
All right. Thank you, sir.
The phone lines are open. Now's your chance to mortal up and give Brian a shout, because your opinion deserves to be heard. Dial toll-free 1-833-MORTAL-1. That's 833-MORTAL-1.
You're into scratching out the math of it, 833-667-8251. Now, I also have to tell you, you can send us an email right into the booth here, Brian at Radio Bri, spelled B-R-I, RadioBri.com. Those emails will come in directly, and if it's cool with you, I'll read them on the air. Unless you don't want me to say, hey, who your name is, right? Like if you're going to write something and you're like, hey, I don't know if I want my name attached to that, even though I write it, I don't want it out in public, then most certainly I will respect those wishes. So we're going to go ahead, open the phone lines. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us, as I just said, Brian at RadioBri.com, because a lot of people are just, it's just, I got into a little bit of a dust up over on Twitter, over on Spitter, one of my favorite news outlets that goes undercover. Not really a news outlet. It's not really the press, Wayne. They like to say, oh, we're just a platform. Oh, all right. Well, my favorite news outlet undercover platform of Spitter got in a dust up where one of the Murdochs, one of the, the billionaires that owns Fox News, well, one of their wives has taken to Twitter to say, oh, I can finally get on with my life now that the election, right, in her mind, the election is settled. And in some people's minds, it's settled. Other people's minds, it isn't. In her mind, now that the election is settled, I can get on with my life. And I simply asked her, when did you ever get off from running your life? Really? The election is such that it affects your life one way or another? What has happened to people, Wayne? The number of people running around, even with their either with their hands in the air, screaming, we won, we won, we won, or the number of people running around with their fists in the air going, we lost, we lost, we lost. I'll get to my opinion about that here in just a little bit. I'm with John Turley. Speaking of Twitter, I'm with John Turley. Biden, if he wants to truly be the healer, Clueless Joe, if he wants to heal, if he wants to do everything he can right? That's his word, not mine. If he wants to do what he can to heal the country, why not say, look, we want all legal ballots to be counted. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll be over here in the corner. Don't pay attention to me. I'll be going ahead. I believe I won, but it's important to make sure that every legal vote is counted. So I'll be over here in the corner. Just play. I'll be in my basement, if you will. I'll just be playing away. And then, we'll get back to me whenever everyone or a percentage of the people, because Wayne, can you help me with some math? You help me quite a bit, but can you help me with some math?
We can try.
All right. Thank you, brother. There's about 250 million people that are eligible, maybe not necessarily registered, but are eligible to vote, right? 250 million people are of age. They're not felons unless Michael Bloomberg paid your fines in Florida. They're not felons. They're mentally competent, which is a question I'm challenged by every day with some of these folks. But 250 million people are of the right age, of the right mindset, and they're not a convicted felon. So if you have 250 million eligible voters, one guy gets 75 million, another one gets 72 million. How does either one, Wayne, get to claim a mandate? Because in order to get to half of 250, you'd need 125. Now, if you get to half, if you get 125 million votes, then I got to tell you, Wayne, I got to bow out and let you scream mandate, the people, this is God's, all the rest of that, right? You get half. But here's what my question with the math. So if you have 250 million, right, is 75 million, 75 and 75 is 150, and then you add another 75 to that, that's not even a third. So I'm just asking a question, right? And you're welcome to send me an email. If I'm wrong, consider this the gauntlet. Consider this me, right, smacking you around a little bit. All I want to know is what's the case, Wayne? If 250 million people, half of that would be 125 million. You get 125 million votes in this country. Well, I think your stuff's on the ball. But if you get in the mid 70s, the low 70s, anywhere like that, how can you claim a mandate? Either one, because it's my math right, I guess is what I'm asking you, Wayne. Neither of those figures are a third of the total. Is my math correct?
Yes, your math is correct.
There you go. So get back to me when you have 125 million. Then I'll be interested. Speaking about get back to me when I'm interested, Wayne, let's go ahead and jump. The phone lines are open. Don't forget, call us 833-MORTAL and the numeral 1, 833-667-8251. Wayne texts feed every time during the show. So you can text us to that number. Wayne's got it up. He's busy responding. He knows what's going on. And then also, if you want to send an email right here into the studio, you most certainly can do that. And that's Brian with an I, Brian@radiobry.com. And if we were smart, Wayne, I'd probably get Radio Bry, spelled B-R-Y, just for people that aren't really certain. But in any event, Wayne, let's run to our first segment. Let me see if I can get it done in 90 seconds. Lowlifes making headlines, or as we like to call it around here, brains that make your blood boil. Here's your brittle brain atop a balsa wood spine for today. Say hello before I get into it. No more a brittle brain atop a balsa wood spine than our winner for today, Ayatollah come crazy, Ayatollah come maniac, the supreme leader of Iran. Let me say hi to Patricia. Let me say hi to Miss Putnam, Miss Costello, Miss Putnam. Thank you so very much for joining us. Super appreciate having you here. All right, so here's the deal. I've got less than 45 seconds to do it. Ayatollah Khomaniac is busy saying it shows how evil we are, how on the ropes we are, how on the rocks we are. And then you couple that, Wayne, with everyone running around saying, well, we need to heal the country. I don't know about you, Wayne. Are you in need of healing? Are you? Do you need a balm? Are there things bugging you, my friend? Do you need to be healed?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. That's a little bit of that. So our lowlife making headlines for today, Ayatollah Khamenei from Iran, busy saying the United States is on the ropes, it's crippled, it's deluded, it's in need, right? Oh, we need to heal. I don't need a balm. I don't need a Band-Aid. Wayne doesn't need a balm or a Band-Aid. I'm pretty sure you don't need a balm or a Band-Aid. So, Wayne, we are out 10 after.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent.
So let's get right to it. Since everyone now has the disclaimer, the views announced by anyone, including yours truly, may not be yours. So for all the people on Twitter going, well, you shouldn't be making fun of the Ayatollah Khamenei. When he speaks, people shake. Yeah, well, if people are shaking in this end of the woods, they're shaking out of laughter because Ayatollah Khamenei thinking that this means we're wounded, right? Wayne, that we're girdled or gilded or that we're in need of any type of healing. Well, every time I hear that, I just laugh. So if I'm shaking to all the social justice warriors over on Twitter, if I'm shaking, it's out of laughter. I can tell you that much because I don't think we're as bad off as everyone says, especially when we mortal up. Wayne, thank you for throwing up the number 833-667-8251. You can text us, you can call us, you can drop us a line, brian@radiobride.com. All right, Wayne, so I'm not up against the clock. Let's get to our second segment. I'm so excited about this segment for the day. Distorting the truth instead of reporting the facts? Why, I oughta. Instead, let me just congratulate you. You're today's contestant on Jousting with Journalists. I'm having a hard time with that. Jake Tapper, the chief. Oh, he's the chief Washington correspondent for the Circus News Network. If I worked at the Circus News Network, I wouldn't be saying I was the chief in the middle of the ring of anything. So here's my question. And I love, as always, to have people here in the thread, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, however we do it. But let me just say this. Jake Tapper's on the hot seat today, not just with me, right, Wayne, but it's on Twitter, Facebook, social media, whatever you call it, over on Spitter as well, where he says, I don't want to scold people. I don't want to be the scold here. But how is it that everybody and their brother and their sister, not mansplaining, not sexist, everyone, their brother and sister, they can't go to ball games. They can't ride the elevator without getting dirty looks. They can't go maskless, right? Oh, well, these are super spreader events. Then why is it that Jake Tapper and everyone else are falling all over themselves about massive events for the Clueless Joe win? How are they falling all over themselves? Yet I didn't see a lot of people with masks. So Jake, and the reason we're jousting with journalists today, please, weigh in. Let me know what you're thinking. The reason he's our winner of jousting with journalists is that how can you slam an entire group of people for being super spreaders? Oh, well, if you go to the motorcycle rally in South Dakota, you're a super spreader. Talk about super spreaders. If I were Jake Tapper with some of the crap he spreads over at the Circus News Network, I wouldn't want my name affiliated with super spreader. Because when it comes to spreading baloney, Jake's one of the best at it. And my question is, Wayne, and you can help me if I'm wrong, Wayne, you always get to chime in. Patricia, if I'm wrong. Ms. Putnam, if I'm wrong. Anyone here in the thread, anyone texting us, how am I wrong? How is it that some people are super spreaders and other people are just super excited? How does that work, Wayne?
Well, I was looking at some of those videos of the groups yesterday.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to figure it out. An
All right.
awful lot of people without their masks.
That's all I'm wondering. Yeah. And since Jake was going, right, shaking the finger, giving everybody a hard time for being out in public without a mask, how does some people get slammed and other people are like, oh, man, it's just so exciting. It's so exciting here. Celebrity voices are impersonated. It's just so exciting. I just don't understand, Wayne. How does that happen?
Who knows?
Who knows? There you go.
You know where they got their heads.
Who knows? All right, hold on, Wayne. Stand by. I know you're glued to your seat. Hold on 1 second.
Check this out.
Oh, there you go. All right, Wayne, that can only mean one thing. It's the breaking news gong. Ben Carson reportedly test positive for coronavirus. Here's a couple things. One, a 1-2 punch for breaking news. Governor Cuomo emerges as stumbling block to the New York rollout of the Pfizer vaccine. So here's the thing. Apparently, Ben Carson hasn't gotten the vaccine yet. He is tested, Wayne, news coming across the wire right now. He is tested positive for coronavirus. So let's wish him in his recovery all the best, right? Absolutely all the best. You know my opinion, Wayne. I think more of us have had it than haven't had it, but Ben Carson tests positive for the Wuhan wheeze, just so you know. Just so you know. Also breaking right here, might as well try to get a hat trick of them. Election fraud lawsuit alleges backdating of ballots took place in Michigan, Wayne. So, and the only reason I bring that up, Wayne, is that we mentioned it in this show. Aren't you a Michigander? Doesn't Governor Alano, Melissa, whatever her name is, Whitmer, always Alyssa Whitmer, Governor Alyssa Whitmer, always say Michiganders. Well, now you people up there, Wayne, some of you people up there are backdating ballots. Is there any truth to that?
That's what the stories are saying.
Oh, wow. All right.
It's just like in Michigan, for the first time since electronic voting machines have been used, there was a software upgrade done on a bunch of these machines the night before election night.
Well, listen, let me just tell you, I understand about software glitches. I know you don't have the picture, Wayne, nor do I, but there was a software glitch where I was handed my little stylus that was made in China. And then as soon as they hand me the stylus, the machines went down. Everyone's bugging for a pen. Talk about a super spreader event. People hitting everybody up going, brother, you got a pen? Hey, sister, can you hook me up? You got a pen? I got to fill out this spot. I'll take a Sharpie. I don't give a crap what it is. Just give me something to mark this down, right? People passing pens, handing ballots. No one had plastic gloves on. Talk about a super spreader event. But I guess that's okay, Wayne, right? Church is a no. Can't eat out at a restaurant is a no in a lot of places. Can't eat out there. But you most certainly can go and elect your overlords, right? The vampire class. You can go and elect the vampire class and not have to worry about being a super spreader. Absolutely amazing to me. But I know what it's like for those machines to go down. Can I ask you a question, Wayne?
Sure.
I'll bet there's a lot of people. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot because we haven't even talked about this, right? It's not like this is dimwit dialogues and you and I prepared speeches, right? And I know you're not working with a teleprompter, so no safety net for you. And ask this question. Would you mind sharing briefly with folks, and don't give the specifics that you don't want, but when I say, oh, what are you, a rocket scientist? Can I say to people, you really are a rocket scientist, or you were before you retired and took over as the executive producer of RadioBride.com, right? You really were a rocket scientist. Can I say that out loud?
Sure. 24 years.
24 years as a rocket scientist. All right, so now we've qualified
not
you.
a scientist, an engineer.
Well, a tomato, please. I run around with a magnifying glass in the backyard looking for bugs. You're a scientist. So, but 24 years as an engineer, can you make mention of some of the things that you engineered? Just like really big time, heavy duty stuff, I guess. Can you say any more than that?
Let's see. Space shuttle, external tank.
Space shuttle. That's there's a common term, so no one can hold. Okay, space shuttle.
Matter of fact, when the space shuttle blew up, I was part of the investigation team.
So you know your stuff. When something goes south, they call Wayne. Well, I know that still goes on, right, Wayne? People having technology issues, computer issues, people call from all over for you to, like, you're responding, right? Like, you're just like Ghostbusters. You hop in a car and you speed to get, of course you follow the speed limit, right? But you obey all vehicle and traffic laws, but you speed to get to where you want to go. Right? To be able to help people with technology issues. So if I could ask you a quick question, and we'll have you answer on the other side of this break, seeing that you know the ins and outs of a lot of this. I mean, the space shuttle, for God's sakes, right? And what happens to it? They called you. Honestly, Wayne, we can't get voting machines that don't need updates to glitches overnight. Is it true, Wayne? We cannot figure out a system to elect people in this country. But we can put a man on the moon, soon to be people on Mars. We can do all these amazing things, but we can't get a consistent voting machine system. All right, Wayne, we're going to have you answer that question on the other side. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Wayne's answer. Stick around.
Portions of this broadcast have been pre-recorded.
Why? Because you can't get these people to hit a call time. They're the worst. Nah, I'm just kidding. We love our guests. All right, Wayne, the phone lines are open. Don't forget. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, that is a very nice of you. I appreciate that. Yes. Yeah. Well, I look, charisma, tomato, whatever you call it, but I happen to enjoy what we do. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, Wayne. So back to the question. We can figure out all these amazing technological challenges. We can create things. Look, you have to look at the particle accelerator in CERN. And if you understand even the littlest about it, and you look at the machinery, you go, it's a human mind. It's a mortaled up human mind. That's one thing I can tell you for sure, Wayne. The people that created that stuff, the people that worked as engineers on the rockets and this and that, everything you've done, you had to mortal up to be able to do that. You couldn't second guess yourself, right? You couldn't have a perforated soul when it comes to the things that you needed to do. Isn't it possible, Wayne, that in this country, in this day and age, with all the different technologies we have, is it true that we could figure out how to work voting machines?
Absolutely. We should be able to figure it out.
We should be able to figure out, but we don't.
Well, and we know what people's heads are sometimes. This software upgrade that happened across the country at hundreds of thousands of machines.
All right.
Should have never happened the night before the election.
Well, even if you just don't want to make it look like anything nefarious happened.
Well, some of these machines automatically took votes that were meant for Trump and cast them for Biden. Now, it was caught in a couple of counties here in Michigan.
All right.
So they went ahead through and manually reversed everything.
All right.
But you don't...
In the counties they checked to see if there was this glitch. Okay.
You don't... from what I understand, it also happened in one county in Ohio. You don't do a software upgrade the day before without fully being able to test it, having the time to test it.
So you're saying to me, if we're doing a countdown, right, like a 10, 9, 8, 7 before a rocket launches, T minus and all that cool scientific stuff, you don't do a software upgrade when it's T minus?
Absolutely.
Listen, speaking of T minus, when does the T minus start, Wayne? Like, is there T minus 1 week? Is it T minus 1 month? When does, I mean, I know the T minus gets to be pretty spot on, like when there's like 20 seconds left, T minus 10, right? But when does T minus attach to a rocket launch?
Normally, as soon as the crew enters the capsule.
Oh, wow, as soon as the crew. So we got people moving all over the country to get in to start manning these polls. So there's like a T minus to it, right?
Right.
Like these poll workers didn't show up at 5 minutes to 6 just to let me in.
No.
Right? They had been there for a while. So what you're suggesting is, hey, let's not throw in a T minus when we're ready to launch.
Absolutely.
All right, I like that. Your opinion, I absolutely am going to stick with that. Which is why I ask you
the other
about
thing,
science and math. Yeah.
And I was reading a couple of articles on it yesterday. I'm trying to verify the story.
All right, let's hear it.
So I haven't been able to fact check it yet.
Okay.
But apparently, Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein's husband are major investors in the company that provides the majority of the voting machines in this country.
Yeah, there's nothing to see here. We're not being run by the vampire class. Everyone out jumping around, all excited one way or another, left or right. We'll get to it in wing sauce. So let me get this straight. One of the people that has sworn to hijack the direction of the country, her husband, well, both of them for that matter, although Feinstein, she's never come right out and said, I'm going to hijack the country like crazy Nancy. Both of their husbands are major investors in the companies that run our software systems.
From what I've been reading, it's Nancy Pelosi herself and Dianne Feinstein's husband.
Drop the pint of expensive ice cream. Are you kidding me, Wayne?
Now, I haven't been able to fact check it, so I still got to do some fact checking. So there will be a follow-up.
Will you get back to us if you know?
Absolutely.
All right, so here's a little bit. We won't go through the breaking news. Oh, you know what we could do, Wayne, very quickly before we run to it? Let's do this.
Please hold for a very important message.
Oh, very important message. We're standing by. All right. Can't be that important. We're going to play the drums. The clipboard
of doom.
Oh, the clipboard of doom. Yeah, I know, right? It makes me want to pull my hair out and scream. This just in, Wayne, I don't know if you noticed, but life is a super spreader. So for everyone in the media, including our good friend Jake Slapper, right? Slapping on your knees every time he opens his mouth. It makes me just laugh, just like the Ayatollah maniac. Life is a super spreader. More news as it becomes available here on all Counterpunch.media stations. All right, Wayne, so I thought everyone would like to know that life has been designated as a super spreader for the Wuhan Wheeze. All right, Wayne, let's go ahead, jump to our next segment, and squeeze this one in. Welcome to the Woke Spoke Choked Files. Quick question. When are these people going to wake up? Sadly, there's no Heimlich maneuver to dislodge stupidity. Oh, Wayne, did you know I've done the Heimlich maneuver a couple different times? I've been out in restaurants and helped people that were having a tough time, but there's no Heimlich maneuver to dislodge, to clear the airway if you're choked full of stupidity. I don't know if you knew that. You probably knew that being an engineer, retired engineer. You knew that, I guess.
Well,
nothing to see here. Don't worry
here we
about
go,
it.
Brian.
Here we go. All right. We have our winner?
We absolutely do.
Well, please. Stacey Abrams, American politician, lawyer, voting rights activist. Well, that's good to know. Failed a 2018 Georgia gubernatorial candidate. Well, here's the reason she won the Woke Spoke Choke Files. All right. Everyone and their sister and their brother saying, hang in there. Don't concede. You're this one, right? Make them prove you didn't win. Well, where is that same understanding? Where is that same latitude? Where is that same olive branch, Wayne, when it comes from the opposite side of the aisle, the unwoke, unspoke, unchoked files, people with clear earways, if you would? Where is the love for write it out, write it out, write it out? Everyone, including our good friends in the mainstream media and our Jousting with Journalists winner for today, Jake Slapper, where is that understanding that was extended to Stacey Abrams in the same state? Wayne, not in a different state, not in a neighboring state, right? Not in a different country, another county, bringing it a little bit on the micro level. Where was that same understanding when it comes, where is it now? Can you help me? I'm scratching my head here. I can't figure it out.
It's non-existent.
Oh, it's non-existent. So you're a voting rights activist if you're an activist for the way you think people should vote.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. Okay, thank you. See, I didn't know that. Thank you for clearing that up. So today's winner, the Stacey Abrams, and I know someone texted me the other day, well, will you be doing an authentic ready for framing, right? These, because Wayne, you've seen these certificates, you hold them, they're ready for framing when they go out. Will we be doing a Woke Spoke Choked Files certificate? So Jake Clapper, over at the Circus News Network, he, of course, will be getting one. And then when it comes time, can we figure out, will we be doing, Wayne, and you don't have to answer now, I don't want to hold you to it, but just consider maybe down the road, we should be doing a suitable for framing, authentic Radio Bry Woke Spoke Choked Files winner. And if we do that, Wayne, if we decide to do that, Wayne says his stands are still up in the air. He doesn't know. And just to prove me wrong, today, his shirt does not match his socks. That's true. Because I said what I liked about it looks very comfortable, and his socks always match his shirt. Clearly, I'm wrong once again. All right, Wayne.
I'm just playing with your color blindness.
I am, right? I begin to think it's affecting my hearing. All right, bottom of the hour. Let's do this. Let me quickly thank our sponsors for today. Certifiable Brilliance, of course. We're very excited to have you. And the good folks at Counterpunch.media. Thank you so very much for all that. We're going to run to the bottom of the hour. And normally we would say, hey, we're running to the bottom of the hour, open the phone lines. But the phone lines are going to stay open through the whole show, as will the text lines. And you're welcome to email us, brian@radiobry.com. Let me just make sure, Wayne, I'm here. I do this, I do that. Yes, all of them right here. They come right into the studio. So feel free to send us an email. Let us know what you think. Wayne, we are out. We will be right back.
You're listening to The Brian Brawdy Show. Why? Because you know the truth when you hear it. He'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Brian Brawdy Show, brought to you by our good friends at Counterpunch Media and Certifiable Brilliance. It's time to buckle up. Buckle up, Muffin. And let me just say before I say Muffin, right, Wayne? Muffin is an affectionate term for me, right? It's just, I mean it very affectionately. Like if I call you Sparkles or Snow, right? It's a very affectionate term. I say it all the time. And most times, Wayne, as you know, it's just to get the people that we're saying it to kind of remember who they ultimately are. But I didn't think if we went after Muffin Up, right, people would go, oh, you sell, who are you, Miss Putnam? You sell baked goods? No, I don't sell baked goods. We know Patricia likes baklava. See, Patricia, there's nothing wrong. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. Just teasing. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I remembered baklava, right? So that's all I'm saying. All right. So everyone get off my back. Nothing wrong with my mind. Although I have to say, Wayne, I do enjoy watching people be all apoplectic, right? There's just something about watching a human head explode. It's like an accident alongside of the road. I can't turn away. I can't look away. It's just amazing to me. So listen, Wayne, I got to ask you, a rocket scientist or a rocket engineer or the engineers, hey, when something went south, they didn't, right? It's not like they called me. They didn't call anyone else. They called you to go and figure out and go, Wayne, what the hell is up with these O-rings? Wayne, let me ask you, to trip down memory lane, they didn't even know it was the O-rings when you first picked up the bat signal, did they?
No, I just got the call to head to Louisiana.
Yep.
To start reviewing all the documentation, all the test results for that particular external tank.
Unbelievable. So it was your team that came up with the O-rings.
Well, it was a combination of us, NASA, and Morton Thykor.
Oh, well, there you go. There's the top three. There's my hat trick to figure out how it went on. I don't want to say went down because people go, oh, now you're making fun of the space shuttle crash. You say how it went down. Just a law enforcement term. So let me clarify that right away. And to cue the reminder that the views expressed by Brian are his, and the rest of you don't have to listen to my views, right? It's a free world. All right, Wayne, let's get to the next segment because this is a good one. I've been waiting all hour for this one. Left wing, right wing. Beneath all the flapping and clucking, it's still just a chicken. Wing sauce. A lot of noise, but not much sense. Always laugh. Whenever I'm waiting, Wayne, to see what you drop, I always laugh. Wing sauce, you're absolutely right. Now, the reason that we mentioned this today, Wayne's got the graphic up. What if I told you that the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird? There's a trend that's running around. I can't see the small print, but it's a trend that's running around on social media today. And I would just remind you, months ago, we created the segment, right? Because left wing, right wing, you still got yourself a chicken in the middle. So all I'm suggesting is the vampire class, right? If over 100 million people said, I'm eligible to vote, but I'm not voting for anybody, or I'm not voting for either one, how is it then that anyone gets to claim a mandate? And of course, we're going to see how it all works out. Not because I'm pro one or pro other. I'm just pro honesty. We should be able to see. And Wayne, let me see. Do we have a history in our country of an election being overturned when all the dust settled?
I don't believe so. The only one that was close to that was the Al Gore Bush.
Right, but they had, so I guess Al had already conceded, so it wasn't necessarily overturned, but it could have been.
It went off. I believe it went off for 39 days.
39 days, right? But in the end, they only got like seven hanging chads.
Yeah, I can't remember all of it. It was so far back.
Right, it was something small. Yeah, something small. But all I'm suggesting is the vampire class, they don't need our help, right? All we want is to have some sense of yeah, this is the way it went down. And here's the other thing, Wayne. I don't trust the media, certain media outlets at least. I don't trust them to tell me where to get my oil changed. How is it in this country that we allow the media to decide who's won an election? Shouldn't there be some other way, whether it's after the Electoral College or after the votes are certified, go, hey, here's election day. It's going to take 2 weeks before you know. So now I understand that the media goes, oh, Bri, that's just a crappy idea. How would we sell advertising for for the 100 million people that didn't sleep all night long when we told them results, top of the hour, this thing's going to break. Come on back. And by the way, they're busy selling Mr. Please don't squeeze the Charmin, Mr. Whipple toilet paper, right?
Well, and it's funny because these media outlets are the same media outlets that were depending on all these polls.
But that's it. See, here's the thing. So I wrote something the other day, which, it wasn't shared around a lot, but that's not a bellwether, right? Because you don't know how Mug Pamphlet is throttling things down. A friend of mine sent me a message. No, a friend of mine posted right in the feed right before we came on the show that if you have anything negative to say about Clueless Joe, or you have anything to say about media mania, right? The maniacs in the media, that Mug Pamphlet and Spitter are working to throttle you back, making sure you don't get that word out there. So my question is for all the experts. So let's just say, President Trump ends up with 72 million. Let's just say, whatever the figures are, right? Still isn't 50% of the vote in the country, right? Of the eligible voters in the country, your message wasn't such that you could motivate these people. So for whatever reason, right, Wayne?
Absolutely.
And then on the other side of the aisle, where everyone's screaming mandate, 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 the people have clearly spoken. No, the people have clearly spoken that it wasn't worth putting down the Doritos, getting up off the couch, and either mailing in a ballot, right, for the vampire class, or going to the polls like I did to stand in line so you could vote on your vampire class, right? So they didn't even do that. So how is it that when I throw up a post that go, look, 71 million people, 72, whatever it is, voted for President Trump. 20 million people, maybe 20 million voted for Joe Biden. But the 54 million other people voted against Donald Trump. And in a way, Wayne, I guess you could say that about 100 million people found it beneath themselves to even vote against one of those two. Now, I don't know if there's a lot of anti-Biden vote out there, right? And if there is, let me know. Drop me a line, or most certainly drop me an email, and then I'll go ahead, because I'm now a pollster, Wayne, just so you know. I'll be doing it. 72 million for Trump, 20 million for Biden, and 52 million anti-Trump votes.
And 100 million no votes.
And 100 million no votes. If I'm wrong, I'm hoping if Patricia is still listening, Wayne, every bit of the engineer that you are, Patricia is sharp with math. So I'm hoping if she's still listening, she can just text me or call in or in the feed go, so someone help me with the math. I'm pretty sure there's 250 million registered voters. So 250, if
eligible.
My math serves me, right? Eligible voters. What did I say, Wayne?
Registered.
Registered. I'm sorry. Eligible voters. Eligible voters. 250. So one half of that, or 50%, is 125. I'm assuming, right? So it seems to me like a lot of people couldn't. Now, maybe these people are never motivated to get up off the couch and vote. Maybe these people really believe it when I say vampire class, and they're like, I want no part of it. I don't want any blood on my hands. I get that. That's not the point we're making here, is it, Wayne?
No.
All we're simply saying is if it's left wing or right wing, right, in this meme, it's still the same bird. Underneath, you still got yourself a chicken. However you're going to vote for it, right? It's still the vampire class. But I think it's just kind of weird when people run around going, we have a mandate. The American people have spoke. Yeah, the American people have spoke, all right. 100 million of them couldn't be bothered to put up with your babbling. Right? Or am I reading it wrong?
I believe you're right.
I believe I'm right. So all I'm saying is like John Turley said over on Spitter, if you want to do something, if you want to say, right, because now people are saying it's time to heal. Well, I wasn't injured in the first place. I don't know what your healing is all about, because I'm going to get up every day and mortal up and do what I have to make certain that no matter what rules come from the vampire class, I'm going to be able to square my shoulders and make it work no matter what. Right?
Yeah. That's all you can do.
So that's all you can do. That's all anyone that's ever mortaled up can do. But there's a brilliance in that. There's a beauty to that. Wayne, I know you got to run for a quick spot. We will be right back. So the phone lines are tied up, are they? Well, you're welcome to leave us a message. And because your voice deserves to be heard, we just might play the recording on air. So sit up straight, take a deep breath, belt it out, and let us know what you're thinking. All right, don't forget, you can also send us Brian at radiobride.com. Brian at radiobride.com will get your opinion hooked up as well. Yes, here's another one going. They believe Ooh, I almost said it, Wayne. I almost slipped. It's like slipping and saying Hunter Biden when our code word is Biden Hunter? No, that's not even right. It's Hayden, Bunter Hayden. Bunter Hayden is our code word, right? I almost said, instead of saying mug pamphlet, I almost tipped my hand in case they're listening to these live videos and going, anytime you say the letters or the words of our company, we're going to throttle you down. So here on mug pamphlet, maybe it's true. I'm getting a second email, Wayne. Maybe it's true they're throttling back, but they've always throttled it back. It's vogue now to go, can you believe this is happening? But I suspect it's always been happening. Just my take on it. So let's get back quickly before we close the segment, right? Wing sauce, left wing, right wing, you still got yourself a chicken. For the rest of us, we know that regardless of that America has spoken, regardless of the mandate, regardless of this or that, there's enough. Life is a super spreader. There's enough going on in life where we have to mortal up, square our shoulders with fate and go, you're not going to derail me from my destiny. All right, Wayne, I gave you 42 minutes to get ready. What else is going on in the world today? Anything new, anything exciting? Of course, our hearts go out to the family of Alex Trebek. You know what I mean? He passed away and gone on to the next gig. And did you ever used to watch Jeopardy?
Absolutely. I love that show.
Jeopardy, great show, great show. He at times got to be a little much, right? He at times got to be a little much, but my heart goes out to his family. It's as if one guy can't know all the answers without like you, Wayne, screaming into my ear. It's not like one guy can know all the answers, but I was thoroughly entertained by Jeopardy, and our best goes out to his family. Wayne, what else is going on? I see that Joe Biden, Clueless Joe, names a Trump-fired Surgeon General as his new head of the coronavirus task force. What else is going on? What do you see going on in the world?
I really haven't much time to pay much attention to it the past day or two.
Gotcha. All right,
because,
so let's just see this.
It's basically the same stuff over and over
again. So we can't even catch a break from any of that.
Yeah.
All right, so phone lines are still open. 833-MORTAL-1, 833-MORTAL-1. Of course, you can text us at that same number, 833-667-8251. Or you can send me an email, Brian at radiobride.com. We'll be happy to hook you up. Make sure. So Wayne, here's a question, and I meant to ask this to you earlier, right? Because Antifa was just an idea. Antifa, right? Antifa wasn't real, just an idea. So could I ask you a quick question and put your engineer cap back on, right? May I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So now that it's reported that the chaos in Portland is still ongoing, how is it that we're learning that Biden himself was the target of profane graffiti in Portland, and that the crowd, the Antifa mob, trashed the Democratic campaign office? So if Joe Biden, if I remember correctly, said, "Oh, Antifa is just an idea," that's some pretty heavy-duty thoughts doing all the rioting in Portland. How is it possible? Now, you could say, Brian, just because they identify themselves as Antifa doesn't mean that they are. Okay, I guess I got to give you that. But let's just take them, right? Let's just take them at their word. I know that's wild to do anymore in this day and age, but taking them at their word, how is it that since they were rioting to make sure that their guy made it into the vampire class?
That's not what they were writing for.
Oh, they weren't writing for. So help me out. What were they? Right. And I love how do you pronounce that, Wayne? Multnomah? Multnomah. There's falls there, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know how to pronounce it, but boy, I sure had a blast hiking all over there. But now they're busy trashing the Democrat. Here's the Antifa logo. Now, you could say, hey, Brian, it's not really them, but what's going on? Are they like with me, the 100 million people that think they're going to riot because of the vampire class, that there should be no presidents?
Yes.
Right? No one should win the office? What are they thinking?
The latest protests that have been going on let me put it this way. There's 3 groups out there.
All right.
People keep on saying BLM and Antifa.
All right.
Well, you've got 2 separate groups of BLM, and you got Antifa.
All right.
You've got the original BLM,
Okay.
which I clearly understood what their intent was. They were
All right,
peaceful.
cool.
Certain portions of that allowed themselves to be infiltrated by the radicals.
All right.
So that's the second group now.
Gotcha.
And Antifa and that second group of BLM are demanding that there's no president, defund, get rid of all police,
All right.
open the borders up.
All right.
They just want total chaos.
All right.
They basically have come out and said they don't care who was going to win.
So the
They were
Molotov
against them all.
cocktails, the Molotov cocktails don't necessarily have a name on them. They're just ticked, or they're going to do whatever they can to puff their chest, right? I'm going to huff and I'm going to puff and I'm going to blow your house down. They're going to do whatever they can regardless of the winner. So if there are those people that cast their vote one way or another, hoping it would mean to an end to the unrest in Portland, probably didn't play that hand perfectly, did you?
No, it didn't work out for them. And it's not going to work out for them. If people think all this is going to end because Biden got in, it's not.
Well, I have to tell you, let's just say, they're going to do all the recounts. They're going to do the challenges. Let's wait and see if 37 days, the whole thing. Let's just wait and see how it works out. But for whoever wins, it's going to be really tough. Allegedly, the coronavirus numbers are spiking. Apparently, the fatalities aren't, but the number of people that have coronavirus, those cases are moving up across the country. Whoever does finally get to say, I won, man, tough gig ahead. You can appoint all the advisors you want. As we said earlier in a breaking news segment, life is a super spreader. So what are you going to do? I had a family friend come over the other day and knocked on the door, and I went to open it, had a mask on, and wouldn't touch the doorknob to pull the door shut. I had to wait, and instead of on his way out, instead of pulling the doorknob shut, he looked down at the doorknob, looked at me, looked down at the doorknob, wouldn't touch the doorknob. Exactly. That's what I thought. So are we getting to the point where we're just going to stop living life? We're going to stop closing a door behind ourselves. We're going to stop because we're afraid of the Wuhan wheeze. And as I've always said from the very beginning, Wayne, I think more of us have had it than have not had it.
Oh, I believe so also.
Right? We had that horrible cold we're all thinking of. Here's another part of my theory. I think we had it before last January, or this past January, right?
Oh, I believe so
I think
too.
of last fall. I think the Wuhan wheeze was here long before they made announcements. And if you're thinking you can trust the vampire class, if you're thinking you can trust, right? You're thinking you can trust any of this to have our best interest, and go, well, they let us know. That's not true, Brian. It didn't get here till March 1st. Celebrity of Voices impersonated. It didn't get here till March 1st. How do you know? How do you know it hasn't been here for a year?
My prediction is it actually started sometime in October, November of the year before.
I'm thinking so, right? And they go, oh, no, it could have been arrived here. It's like saying Election Day. Oh, no, Election Day was turned after we finally got a chance to look back and call out all the absentee ballots. Okay, if that's what you believe, okay, great. So they went ahead and set the right. So there's Election Day, which was in coronavirus cases sometime in March. But then look at everything that happened before Election Day. Okay, let's do that. If we can look at election for the vampire class, if we can look there and then we go back, well, I'm saying, talk about ballots being post-dated. I think coronavirus got here long before any of us knew it was here.
Oh, I believe so also.
So that's just what I'm saying. All right, Wayne, it is time for my favorite segment of the day, as you know, of the show. But before I get to that, Wayne, let me thank everyone listening on Facebook, on YouTube. Thank the folks on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, if you're listening to the rebroadcast of the show. And I really have to thank everyone that's helping us be one of the fastest growing shows in terms of our numbers and everything else. Thank you so very much for all of that. I super appreciate it. We super appreciate it. And Wayne, we've talked about it. No breaking news yet on whether we'll be moving or when we're going to be moving to 2 and then 3 hours. Pretty sure we'll have some announcement about that in the days, if not the weeks ahead.
Yep, that's the plan.
That's the plan. All right, great. Let's go ahead and get to my favorite and our final segment of the day of episode 537, Facing Fear. Welcome to the Mortal Up Minute. You know, our memory plays tricks on us. So when you stop and think about it, Mortal Up is about doing battle with your mirror. It's about checking your reflection, see what baggage supports you, and see what baggage hinders you. Now, there may be some things from your past as you look back in your memory, as you survey all the things you're certain of. There may be some that support you, but then there's going to be some that tries to hijack you, that will get you to do whatever it can to have your head and your heart do anything but dovetail. And what I'm simply here to suggest is Mortal Up is more about memory, about reminding yourself of who you truly are before all the naysayers in your life got a hold of your self-esteem. All right, Wayne, and let me just interrupt quickly for another breaking news. In Ukraine, the leader of Ukraine has also now tested positive for coronavirus. If you believe The Wire, that's going on right now. And the second bit of breaking news, quote, beyond disgusting, Cuomo slammed for call to fix or stop Trump's plan to distribute COVID vaccine. So wait a minute. Cuomo's not going to be the governor very much longer, right? Let's just say that the Biden administration, the Harris administration gets in, right? He's going to be somebody, but he won't be governor for much long. But how is it, this is a breaking news that I'm getting, Wayne, that Cuomo says or is being slammed to fix or stop. He can, so even you, who are you, Anderson Cooper, calling the president a beached orange turtle on its back, turtle on its shell? You hate, your hatred. Here's the thing, Wayne, right? And I forgot my spritzer, so just jump in at any time. Here's the thing. These are the vampire class. They are so filled of hate, they don't give a shit about you. So stop all of them. Stop, all of it. Oh, well, they have our best interest at heart. That's a boatload of crap, and you know it. So your hatred for someone, whoever it is so bad that you're calling to, quote, fix or stop Trump's plan to distribute COVID vaccines? So instead of saving lives, oh, I'm sorry, Governor, you're just going to send everyone to a nursing home, right? Better practice up your taps.
He wants to see how many more people he can kill.
People are so filled with rage, and these are the people we elect? Talk about the antithesis of Mortal Up. These are the people, the AOCs of the world, the Chuck Schumers going, we just got to, here's another prediction, Wayne. You talk about the Charlie Daniels band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. You wait, and now these two runoff elections, which very well could dictate the control of the Senate, and little Chucky Hairplugs Schumer says, we win Georgia, we'll change America. I don't want America changed. I'm pretty happy with the way America is. Are there some things we need to correct? Absolutely. Are there some people that just suck? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I didn't vote Chucky Schumer in to change America. These people are so filled with hatred that they're not worried about doing what's right for you. They're worried about doing what's right for their own egos, their own sense of self. So when everyone says, well, it's not fair to call them egomaniacs, okay, how about I call them vampires instead? Fix or stop Trump's plan to distribute the COVID vaccine, which, if you believe it, could save lives. I guess Governor Cuomo isn't concerned at all about saving lives. So there's our breaking news. Now, I want to get back to the Mortal Up Minute because this is our only opportunity, Wayne, to stand against some of these people. Is, as I said in the Mortal Up Minute, remember who you truly are, who you ultimately are, not the fake news that you've been buying into. Right? Not the idea, not a watered down wherewithal like you've been convinced. Oh, if we just elect this politician, if we put them to become the vampire class, then, oh, yeah, well, forget about wing sauce. We just need a bloodthirsty chicken in there. If we can get a bloodthirsty chicken, well, you got a bloodthirsty chicken. Just it has one wing, not two wings. We can't elect someone that decides, all these people, oh, well, I need a higher sense of self, or I want to learn meditation, or I want to learn deep breathing, or I'm going to follow Alan Watts. Can't we all just get along? Yes, it begins when we vote for term limits. We vote. Career politicians ought to be outlawed. Ought to be outlawed. And for other people going to call in and text in and send me the message going, well, that's not what our Constitution, right? If our Constitution wanted term limits, it would have said it. Great. Well, we got term limits for a president, I think was added after the fact. Let's just you and I agree. We're not going to elect anyone else to the vampire class until they say we're going to do term limits. The quote in the newsfeed here is right. It is beyond disgusting. Your hatred for another human being is so profound that you'll turn your back on other people that are counting on you to make a difference in their lives. The hell with all of them. Tired of the crap. All right, Wayne, that is our Mortal Up Minute. It was sprinkled in with a little bit of breaking news for the day. Wherever you fall in line in terms of election integrity, let's hope we get there one day. Let's hope we can all get to the point where we go, hey, my guy lost. Right? And what am I going to do now that this is the vampire that's been elected? What am I going to do to mortal up and make sure that fate doesn't target me? That fate doesn't bring me down, that I'll be able to rally to the cause that is my destiny and make certain that on that final day, when they unvalidate my passport, when I get ready, when you get ready to be called back, you're able to look back over in your life and go, damn it, I gave it a great run. I mortaled up and I did everything I could to leave this life with every bit of it. It's like I like Stevie Ray Vaughan's song, Life by a Drop. I did everything I could to squeeze every drop out of my shot here in the labyrinth of life. My shot here in the garden of the mortals. Enough with the vampire class. Don't let them steal your future, which is all it's trying to happen. All they're trying to do. Public servants, give me a break. All right, Wayne. That's my thought. Here I am. I think I've calmed down. It's a little warm in here. I need to get a fan. You know, one of those little fans, Wayne, that noiseless fans. I need to get one and send it here.
What are those handhelds that you keep on putting against your face?
What are those?
What are those handheld fans?
Yeah, I need a little. That would be great, wouldn't it, Wayne? Okay, so you could just go, hey, this was going to be Brian, but he instead of his rant, we'll go ahead and he's going to sit back and just fan. That's what I need, one of those little spray bottles with a fan. That's a great idea, Wayne.
Yeah.
Here's a spray bottle. He'll just, right, and he'll be back here and coming out. All right, let me thank the sponsors, Counterpunch.media, and also Certifiable Brilliance. Let me thank everyone on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and also all the great people that listened on RadioBri.com. We love being your virtual hitchhiker. Thank you so very much for all that. And, of course, people at Spotify, iHeartRadio, right? iHeartRadio and iTunes. Thank you so very much for sticking with us through the rebroadcast. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Of course, we'll be back noon tomorrow with episode 538. Wayne tells me it's going to be a great one. Wayne, as always, thank you for everything you do. We are out, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to The Brian Brawdy Show. Until next time, get out there and mortal up.